Ooh, welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, Molly Qerim has kicked the ESPN can, and she's out of there. See you later. She's out. Gone. See you later. And I wasn't going to do a video on this one, but it just started building up layers and building up and building up and building up and grew legs. And I guess it was a big deal. So, I said, well, let me do a video about this. And you guys already know I'm not going to give you the conservative perspective, right? I'm not going to give you the YouTube, don't demonetize me version of this, right? Because I never give you that type of version because I'm not monetized, right? So if you want to hear that version, it's plenty of the same versions going around on social media, which is, to me, just interesting because everybody is saying the same stuff. It kind of sounds like a robot about it, right? No uniqueness, just robotic sounding. Whatever they told you the situation was, repeat it and then act like, you have a real opinion about it, something like that. So this is what I'm going to say about this whole thing. First, you got to understand this is the entertainment industry. ESPN is the entertainment industry. It's part of the entertainment industry. Whether we talking about entertainment industry, we're talking about Hollywood, we're talking about music, we're talking about talk shows, whatever you want to say is part of the entertainment industry. And even sports, you can say the same stuff because a lot of sports players have turned into nothing but, Hollywood, right? To me, a lot of them are part of the entertainment industry, especially in recent years. So what I mean by that is, don't get twisted, and come to a different conclusion of what it is than actual entertainment. And they are part of the entertainment industry. The Stephen A. Smith, he's part of the entertainment industry. Shannon Sharp, he is part of the entertainment industry. All these fools that you will see on TV are part of the entertainment industry. You need to understand that first. Don't try to separate them as some type of just analysts that worked hard and struggled to get where they were and all this stuff. No, they're part of the entertainment. Jason Whitlock, he's part of the entertainment industry. All these guys are. The only difference is, well, it ain't really no difference, but there's levels to the entertainment industry, right? I've told you guys before, most rappers are actors, right? They aspire to be an actor, okay? A lot of them could never be actors, right? They went to Hollywood. They just, especially back then in the 80s, the 90s, and maybe the 2000s, acting, to be an actor, you had to be one of the best as far as, to be on big films and, do Broadway shows and stuff like this. No matter if they was black, they was white, but as far as rappers, they aspired to be actors first, but, they never made it. We don't have no position for you. We can't sell your talent so we can put you in the music industry to be a musician. And a lot of these rappers, they became, or a lot of these whatever you want to say, however way you want to cut it, these rappers were actors first. That's why you see what happens. If they make it big, boom, bam, boom. How do they transition into being an actor that easy? Because I just gotta laugh for a minute because sometimes I just say, how are people this dumb? Not the young people, but you still have people, 40, 30, 50, 60 years old that still believe these people came from the damn projects, dropped out of school, was selling dope, banging, going to jail, in and out, like I said, dropped out of school, really can't even, supposedly, these things supposedly happen. They can't read or write, all this stuff of what a gangster is. I'm not trying to say a gangster is stupid and these people are stupid. I'm just saying they say these people went in, after becoming a famous rapper, picked up a script and start going into character of a character to perform that person in the script, and was able to read scripts, act these things out, be on the set, do all. He just jumped all these people that aspired and went to acting school and did all these things for years and years and got rejected. Not because they weren't talented, because it was only the best of the best that was able to get in those positions. But they're trying to tell you, it's just hilarious, man. And all this info is out here right now for us to know. Ice Cube was an actor. Dr. Dre was an actor. Tupac was an actor. Snoop Dogg an actor. LL Cool J an actor. The Fat Boys actors. How long do you want to go back down the damn pipe with all these rappers that you've seen in movies? And look, I'm not trying to say they were the greatest actors of all time. No doubt about that, they weren't, or even close to be. What I'm trying to say is they came from Hollywood. They weren't good enough to be actors, so they put them as rappers. And rappers are nothing but actors, as we know now. That's what I'm trying to say. The rappers going Hollywood, that's nothing new. You had rappers going Hollywood back in the 80s. You had rap movies and all these type of stuff. Why? Because they were actors first. This is a pipeline that's been going on for a long time, folks. Okay, and a lot of these people, I'm gonna put you up on game. We can do a whole video if you don't believe me. Most of these black rappers and actors come from where? Well, they come from the West Indies. They come from the islands. It's been a pipeline for a long time from the entertainment industry that bring in either they come here and that's where they're from in their what do you call it? I forget the name right here. Or they come here with their parents, right? Through like work visas. They're molded to work for Hollywood. Their parents have to give their children to Hollywood, put them through these schools and all this stuff. That's how they get these visas, their parents, to come over here, because they put their children in the entertainment industry. That's why you see a lot of the rappers and the actors, they're first generational Americans. Their parents, their parents got over here through that, right? They'll be like, whatever, Jamaican, Barbadian, all these islands in the West Indies where these black people came from, who are in the entertainment industry, right? And most of it started on the West Coast from California, and some of it started from the East Coast in New York. That's why, you listen to Busta Rhymes, he even tells you that they even tell you too, if you listen to the beginning rap, immigrants started hip hop from the Bronx, from New York. They all came from the West Indies, okay? And not only that, what they, a lot of them won't tell you is the entertainment industry started hip hop, started all this stuff. It formed from the entertainment industry. And a lot of these black kids, like I said, came from the West Indies, came from the Caribbean and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to tell you, I think I did a video on this. No, that was on my other channel before. You don't believe it? Look at Stephen A. Smith. He's from the islands. No coincidence? No coincidence? There's a lot of people in certain places in the entertainment industry, well, as far as black people, they don't like to hire foundational black Americans. They don't want the black people, and you can see this a lot in sports too, but in the entertainment industry, they don't want black people, the entertainers from the black entertainers from the entertainment industry having any connection to foundational black Americans. They don't. Like I said, if you don't believe me, I actually can do I want anybody to doubt me right now and say they don't believe me. I will lay a whole video, and this lady does a whole video. She's not criticizing any celebrity, rapper, singer, whatever, but she's trying to tell you through their own mouth, all these rappers, they are not foundational black Americans. None of them. They're not. And some of them are first, most of them are first generational, and a lot of them are immigrants that came from another country. So I forgot how we even got into this, but I'm just trying to tell you how we're gonna get back to the Molly Qerim, but I'm just trying to tell you what the entertainment industry has to offer you. They don't have nothing to offer you but a bunch of lies. In entertainment, that's all they have to offer you. But like I said, if you don't believe me, what I'm trying to say about the majority of black entertainers, they're not foundational Americans, just say I don't believe you. And then bet me $500 and I will lay out the video and show you, not only from my mouth, but from this lady who does videos about black entertainers. And I think it's with West Indian heritage. Yep, you'll be blown away. And not because they have West Indian heritage. No. No. It's not because of that. Like I said, much respect. I love culture. I love culture. What I'm trying to say is they don't want no connection, the system, to foundational Black Americans. That's why they bring in these immigrants who are first generational Americans, or they're just immigrants, period. So they only have connection to their peoples, right? Barbadian, Jamaican, whatever country they're from, Haitian, whatever like that. So they don't, even though they'll fight for Black, that's just an illusion. That's just an illusion to make you feel good, foundational Black American. They know where they come from. You don't know where you come from if you call yourself African American. They know who they are. So, yeah. I was blown when I found out Heavy D was from Jamaica. He was born in Jamaica. In just about all these Black rappers from the 80s, they were all West Indian immigrants, right? Either immigrants that just got over here, or they was first generational Americans. And like I said, I don't have any problem with that. What I'm trying to tell you is, they don't want these Black entertainers having any connection to foundational Black Americans. That's the only way a lot of them was able to get into the entertainment industry. And like I said, their parents, and it's more than just that. It's more than, I'm talking about a broad stroke of the entertainment industry, just not music. We're talking about movies. We're talking about, media. We're talking about stuff like that. It's broad. And it's whatever. Look, I can only claim what I can claim. I can only claim what I can claim. I can only, if I do my genealogy and my people go back to the 1600s in this country, in the 1700s, that's all I can claim. So if somebody's mad at me because, they're Haitian or they're Jamaican, they're first generation American, whatever. I'm not hating on nobody's culture or nobody's people or nothing like that. Like I said, I love culture. I don't know why anybody who knows who they are, if they're Jamaican, Haitian, Barbadian, whatever, I don't know why they would want to claim African American. I wouldn't want to claim that. If I know my people, I wouldn't want to claim that, because that's a whole different culture. Jamaicans have a whole different culture from Barbadians, and Haitians got a whole different culture from Jamaicans, and Jamaicans have a different culture than the Negroes who are soul people from the South and so-called African Americans. Yes, they're the same color people, but they have a different culture, a different heritage. You know what I'm saying? Just like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, Venezuelans. Yes, they speak Spanish, but they have a whole different culture, customs. It's just like that. So, I respect culture. That's why I say stuff like that, because I respect culture. Now, if you want to call yourself African American as far as something on paper because you're a first generational American or something like that, go ahead. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't call myself African. Those are lost people. African, there's no such country. What country is African American? None. There's no place. What people in Africa call themselves African? No. Africa is a whole bunch of different countries. Just like South America and Central America is, just like Europe is. A whole bunch of different. You just can't call yourself, European American or Asian American. I guess you can as a overview. Like an Asian could say, yeah, I'm Asian American. I guess as an overview, but what's the real view? Where you really from? Where your people really from? You can't keep denying that, because the Asian person would say, nah, I'm Chinese. I'm really Chinese. I'm Chinese. I guess you could say American, right? I mean, I guess if you was want to be real about it, like a Jamaican is, or a Barbadian, or one of these Negroes from the West Indies, how they do it, right? Since they don't want to say I'm African Jamaican or something like that, they just say I'm Jamaican. So I guess you can say, maybe I'm American, but still yet, everybody's American in the Western Hemisphere. Everybody is. Everybody is in the Western Hemisphere. Everybody's American. Don't matter if you was born in Jamaica, Venezuela, Barbados, Haiti, Venezuela, whatever. You was born in Americas. You just trying to get to the United States so you can get some of those benefits as a citizen, right? And if you want to even break it down, these Haitians are nothing but Haitian citizens. Jamaicans are Jamaican citizens, okay? Just like if you live in Florida, you're a Florida citizen, a Florida resident. If you live in Georgia, you're a Georgia residents. So, but I'm not. I don't know. I ain't never saying no African American. Ain't no damn way in this world, because it ain't even no such place. Even though a lot of these places are, just like made up constructs. African American, no. I ain't about to be two damn continents. Ain't no, ain't no such people. That's a new construct. If you go to Black, Afro American, African American, Negro, the name keep changing. Either I'm going with American, or I'm going with Indian, because I know my people is Indian. That they mix with the people of this country, and I ain't talking about no Siberian Native Americans, not them people. I'm talking about the Aboriginal people. I ain't talking about those Native Americans. My people mix with the Aboriginal people who are indigenous to this country, not the indigenous people of Siberia, and my people that came from Europe, and not no white Europeans. I'm talking about the Black Europeans that came to the United States region as free people, at the most indentured slaves. That's it. Okay, that's what I associate myself with. Real history. I don't associate myself with the world of commerce school history. Okay, I don't do it. That's for dummies. If I did that, I would vote. If I did that, guess what? I would be in a religion. I go with the history of the land. That's what I go with. The history of the land. So whatever my last name is, it goes back to Europe, to the Black Europeans. That's how it goes back. Okay, and it's some white Europeans with those names too, but my name don't come from no slave master. I mean, that story is the dumbest story you ever heard. Like I said, if you know anything about nobility, okay, in Europe, nobility was your last name. You didn't give your last name to slaves. That's the most ridiculous thing you ever heard of. You're really insulting people's nobility and a family crest, or that's what I should say, the family crest. And you can say nobility too, but you're disrespecting people's family's crest. No slave master will give their family crest, especially back then, to a slave. That's the dumbest thing you ever heard in your life. And that's why I don't kick it with a lot of these black people, because they're into the what's the word I want to say? They're in, I don't care. They're in with the sellouts. That's what they're in. They're in with the sellouts to keep the lies going, even though it's been debunked a million times over now the past 20 years. I don't even know how people's running with the same slave story in the first place with social media. It's like the government wants you to know all this stuff was fake in the first place. But no, that's how I address myself. If I want to determine to somebody who I am, either it's through my family crest, which is my last name, or this land that my people mix with the Indians of this land, or was from this land. Okay, that's how I roll. I don't roll with African American, and okay, we use the word black a lot, or Negro or something like. We no, I don't deal with no African American. I heard that interview Michael Jordan. Who was interviewing him? I think it was Stuart Scott. Stuart Scott kept saying African Americans, African Americans. He said it like 3 or 4 times, wanting Michael Jordan to say African American. He wouldn't say it. He kept saying Afro Americans, because he knew who his people was. Bro, I could look up anybody's last name right now on the dot. No matter if you was from Jamaica, your people from Jamaica, Barbados, Haiti, anywhere in the Americas, and I could tell you where your people came from. People don't even know why they call Charles Barkley Sir Charles Barkley. You don't know why he's it? Because he's from royalty in Europe, fool. He's from royalty in Europe. Okay? Go look up the Barclays. Apparently LeBron James, you know why they call him the king? Because he's from royalty in Europe, his people. I ain't saying right now, I'm just saying the lineage. People don't, it's a reason why they don't want black people to know their lineage. It's a reason. Once you understand lineage, you understand family crest, you understand where your people came from, and you understand who these people are out here on this world stage in the entertainment industry, and you start looking them up, also, you start seeing all this stuff out here is phony. They're just actors. They're not who they are or who they say they are. They're stories. You got a person like Obama, who is Indonesia, claiming he's black. Well, He said his father is African, but no, he's from Indonesia. His people are from, he's Indonesian. The dude is Indonesian. Ain't no black American. His parents ain't black. Ain't no black in them. Except for the Indonesian, I guess you could say. Those people were originally black, and they started getting mixed in. But yeah, Indonesian. They even put one day Obama next to the Indonesian president. Boy, people was blown away. I don't know if it was the Indonesian president now or before. Man, it was crazy. It was like night and day with him. But yeah, if you go look at the records and all this stuff, yeah, he's from Indonesia. And you know, you got to know these type of things, man, about how the world really works. And you know, and Obama, he's part of the entertainment industry. As you can see, Trump, he's part of the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry, like I said, paints a very broad stroke. A very broad stroke. The Jackson 5, a family put together by the entertainment industry. Oh, that thing's so mixed up. You can't even. I would sit here and tell you a story for about 3 hours trying to explain the Jackson 5, the Michael Jackson story. You won't believe me without proof, but they were put together by the entertainment industry. A lot of them ain't even family, and they can't even. If they say they're family, how can they can't prove it through genealogy? Anybody can say anything on TV. I done did their genealogy. There's no proof, but there is proof that there's something that they haven't told the public, but they've told, no, not like in an interview, but it's stuff that they told the public through their videos who they are. Wow. Yep. They're telling you in their videos who they really are. Yeah. And guess what? Black Americans, they will be heartbroken if they find out who these people really are. They will be heartbroken, because in America, all you have to do is have shade to your skin, and you can say you're black. Right? That's where the whole black concept came from. They took you out of being American, or where your people originally was from, and they start pushing this black thing. So as long as you was melanated, you could claim black. It don't matter if you was from Jamaica. It don't matter if you was from, you know, if you was black, Asian, your people was from China, if, you know, wherever. You could claim black as long as, well, in the United States, you could claim black as long as you had dark skin, or not dark skin, melanated skin. Everybody is black. That was the danger when you go back and look at it. Big danger right there. You got people, you know, basically giving you your way of life, your temperament, how to do things, how not to do things, what to say, and everything, with people, you know, melanated people through the entertainment industry who came over here, who are not foundational Americans, and really don't even care about foundational Americans. They just care pushing an agenda for the system. Because in reality, they only care about their people, where they came from, their culture, their heritage. But like I said, they came through here through the entertainment industry. That's how they came. A lot of these people of color came through the entertainment industry. It's been going on for a minute. It ain't nothing new. We can go back to, you know, the 1800s, the 1900s, and stuff like that, as far as these so-called black entertainers in the entertainment industry. So when we talk about that, we're talking about Molly Qerim. What is she? Well, she's Middle Eastern. I can guess just about every black person on ESPN, Fox, of some sort, is a foundational, not a foundational, a first generation American that came through the pipeline of the entertainment industry. Yep. Just saying. And like I said, it's nothing, whatever you are is cool with me. I have family who are first generation Americans. So I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just trying to tell you history for what it is. And again, I don't want to do it, but if you say I'm full of ish, I can bring you the facts. I can sit here and do a 3-hour video, and after I do the video, if you don't believe me, I will send you another video with facts confirming everything I said. I'm just saying. So, Molly Qerim, who is Middle Eastern, they're going to tell you this story. It's coming up because I was listening to Stephen A. Snitch, and you never know what the hell he's talking about. He's talking about 5 different things while he's trying to talk. And he's saying that they offered her another deal. We're going to tell the real story in a minute, but that they won't tell you, of course. But they tried to offer her another deal, and she turned it down. Now, he says it ain't his story to tell you basically how she feels about the situation, why she turned it down, why she's moving on, and yada yada. Her story basically at ESPN and what the future story is going to be as far as her. Now, this ain't nothing new, folks. They're going to give you, they always do this. Well, let me tell you first why they're going to do it. That would be more appropriate, right? So they can't afford her no more. Let's just say, and all that claim is backed up by all the good analysts they have fired the last 5 years. You don't fire good analysts and good people if you need them. And why would you need them? Well, if everything was going good and you would still get the same ratings and people was watching your network, guess what? It would be doing good. And you would need those people instead of letting them go. But it's not doing good. They can lie to you. They can fabricate numbers. They can say all this nonsense they want to say because it's entertainment. But they can't prove it through what's going on. They don't want to pay these people because they're losing mass amount of money by the year because of the ratings. Not only that, they're probably not even getting the money for people that want to advertise on their channel because nobody's watching the trash. And a big reason why is because of social media. Trust me, ESPN, Disney, it's right. Well, I'm saying Disney because Disney owns Fox Sports and they own ESPN, ABC. They don't need these people. They're rich as hell. They don't need them. They're still filthy rich, the people who own the network. Okay? But they're not getting the ratings. Whenever you see something like this, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. They can say, oh, she didn't want to take another contract. They can say, oh, she, well, would you say anybody in general? They can say, oh, this person got in a fight with such and such. Oh, they moved on to a bigger and better things. The fact is, in this climate, the past 5 to 10 years, it's not the same climate as in the 2010s, or the 2000s, or the 90s, or the 80s, or the 70s, or the 60s. TV is not selling anymore. You know how much TV I watch? 0. I might watch TV when, I don't know, when a football game come on, maybe a basketball. Other than that, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. I don't know who the hell watches. Maybe some old people. I don't know. I don't watch TV. Watching social media, and that's what a lot of people watch. The problem with this whole thing is nobody is watching ESPN no more. Let's be real. We have a social media problem that's cutting them out. Yes, fine. We know this. But we have a demographic problem too. Once you start changing the demographic, not gradually, but the way they have changed the demographic for maybe a decade now, it changed so fast that companies are shutting down. You don't have the same people that buy the same thing, that invest in the same things, that have the same interest in the same thing. A lot of your foundational Americans are dying off. You don't have American culture no more. And I talked about that before. What makes up American culture is a melting pot of people. It don't matter who they are. If they're from Haiti, Jamaica, the United States, wherever, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, folks. Because the United States has been a melting pot for a long time. The problem is when you oversaturate what's supposed to be a melting pot with all these people, there's going to be no more culture. It's oversaturated. Some of you guys might know what I mean, and some of you guys might not. If you don't know what I mean, don't take it the wrong way. It's just if you dump a whole bunch of different cultures into Haiti, there's not going to be a Haitian culture. If you dump a whole bunch of cultures into Jamaica who ain't Jamaican, there's not going to be a Jamaican culture. Although you can say there have been different cultures going to those countries, in other countries, for instance, that make up that country's culture. But when you start over saturating it, the culture is going to go away. And you can see that now in the United States. There's no culture here no more. Music is bad, movies is bad, sports is bad. Everything is oversaturated with these people. We're trying to, look at sports. We're trying to, the NBA. We're trying to put all these international players as top 5, top 6 over American players, whether they're better or not. I'm just saying, nobody wants to see this. Nobody's watching it. You have all these international players in the MLB. Nobody wants to watch it. They can't even speak English. It's oversaturated. We've always had a mix of culture here. So when we look at the NBA in the 90s, it was great. That's why it was a golden era. We had a lot of international players in the league, but we had a lot of Americans. We had a lot of international stars in the league, and we had a lot of American stars. Same thing with baseball. The problem is when you try to saturate it with all these people who didn't come in gradually and melt in like the melting pot. It just becomes like, who are these people? Like, what do they do? So to me, when you do stuff like that, it's just big corporations and companies making money for cheap labor. Whether they tell you or not, that's what it is. Just like when you see in a blue collar market job, whatever, all these people aren't making a whole bunch of money for being these so-called great workers, right? No, they're getting paid shit money. So it's just these big companies and corporations making money off of slave wage. Anyways, I can only tell you what I see, man. I've been alive for in my 40s, and this is what I see. I posted that earlier, and I'm like, I look around my town, and it was like 70%. Well, in the city, it was 70% black in the 90s. And further back, even in the 2000s. And now today, it's like damn 10%. This is oversaturated by people who didn't even fight for no freedoms in this country. I'm talking about their foreparents. Their foreparents. How's that fair? And what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about people who came over here and did it right. Came over here the right way. Came over here through immigration and stuff like that. I ain't talking about that. Because to me, the whole thing seems dumb. These people do it wrong. And they can still benefit because the corporations are benefiting off their slave labor. But these people do it right and have to pay thousands of dollars for lawyers and whatever else they have to do. So which one is it? Which one is it? Is it so what are you paying tax money for Border Patrol and all this different stuff, billions and billions of dollars a year, if none of this, all this, it seems like a fraud to me. It seems like a dog and pony show to me. That's why I say it just scratches my head when you black Democrats. Could you imagine these people? They're just looking at you like you're really vote for us to come take your jobs and take your communities. I'm talking about foundational black Democrats. Those people really exist. And I'm not trying to say I'm Republican. No. Because I know it's the same snake. Republican, Democrat. I know it's the same people. But there's no way I would vote to be a Democrat. Why would I want to smile with people who don't smile with my people? These people come over here, they're turning back and fart in your face. They don't care about you. They don't care about foundational black Americans. Nope, they don't. These people that come to these people of color, remember, and I can only tell history, folks. I don't care who likes it. It's just history. Most of it, you go to these mixed countries, and it's a thing called colorism, right? So who's on the bottom? The dark people, the black people. So you have the white people of those countries and a lot of those mixed people of those countries. They come to this country. They don't even like the black people of their country. So you think they here to hold hands with you? No, they here to get ahead of you. I mean, you can chalk that up to Martin Luther King. You can chalk all that up. Why do you think they praise Martin Luther King so much? Because desegregation was about immigrants. It wasn't about you getting ahead of the white man. No. It was about the immigrants coming in here and getting ahead of you. Yep. And you think it's just a coincidence? As soon as that ended, it was a small time in between then. But, the 70s was kind of like a mess around era, whatever like that. But when the 80s came, here come the crack in the community, here come gangster rap and all that stuff. And it was a rap after that. It was a rap after that. Your communities was a rap. And desegregation, it was not about holding hands with white people or any other people. It was about everybody doing business with each other. So while we were sitting there screaming and crying that we couldn't eat, chicken noodle soup at Betty's restaurant because she cooked the best chicken noodle soup, and we're eating the chicken noodle soup with all these Klansmen sitting around us, the most ridiculous thing you ever heard of. Okay. But the people who ate at Betty's, all these people, they were supposed to come to Roscoe's Chicken and start eating there. Buy Roscoe's shoes at his shoe store. Come get their tire changed at Jerome's tire shop. See, a lot of black people forget that we have businesses in our own community. So to me, but that was over as soon as desegregation came because all the immigrants came in our communities. But that's what it was supposed to really be about. Everybody was supposed to start buying from each other. The difference is when it was all said and done, nobody wanted to buy from black people. Or black Americans. Again, I can only tell my history of my people in this country, in the history of this country. A lot of people can come over here and read that school book history or whatever. I laugh at that school book history. It's funny. Sometimes I don't even know how people even send their kids to school because it's history being debunked. It ain't being debunked by some people just making stuff up. No, it's the government's own history. It's the history in the world of commerce, and it's the history of the land. Two different things. You got a United States corporation, which is the democracy, and then you got the United States Republic. That's why you got a gold infringement on some of the flags you see on TV, and then you don't have a gold infringement. Don't play with me about history. You can't. Some people want to, but they can't. And it's good to wake up because a lot of people it's about to end for a lot of people. A lot of my people, I know that too. But it's okay to have some knowledge. You ain't gonna get no knowledge from Stephen A. Smith or Shannon Sharp. These are all goons, and some of these YouTubers. But these people on TV is all goons for entertainment industry. So again, this is why I hate telling stories. I'll be going all over the place because I'm a real person. Sports ain't that important, guys. Sometimes it's just entertainment. These people don't give a damn about us and never will. And the sports ain't even at its all-time height anymore. To me, it looks like it's cheap labor. To me, that's what it looks like. That's all I can say. It looks like cheap labor. But again, the Molly Care, they can't pay her no more. You saw what happened on, what is that? First things first. They can't afford all them people no more. So they got rid of the moderator. I forget her name, whatever her name was. They can't afford her. So what they're gonna do now is she's gonna come out with some kind of dumbass statement, like they always do. What was that chick that they just fired, Joy, not too long ago? She said she was sexually harassed at ESPN, or where was she? Fox, one of them. And she had a lawsuit on them or something like that. That's why, they didn't want to fire her before. It's all nonsense, folks. Like I said, I tell you before, when you think about TV, think about entertainment. That's all they're bringing you. These are entertainers. So, Joy's going to lie up a storm. So she has some kind of, her YouTube views and everything will get bigger. She'll get some kind of, feel sorry for her audience and all this stuff. And, the Me Too movement. Oh my God, this thing is totally, to me, what would the word be? I don't know. Well, I'll just say that me is not heterosexual. To me, it's not. And it's, for women not to like men. And they keep, giving you these homosexual men acting like they're heterosexual men to have women pissed off at us real men out here. I'm just trying to tell you that's what it is. So we're not trying to say this stuff don't ever happen, but what they're bringing you is entertainment, folks. Shannon Sharp ain't paid no what is it called, OnlyFans chick. What was it, like 10, 20 million? People actually believe this, folks. This is entertainment. Not only that, this is 2025. How are you that dumb? Well, you're that dumb because you have people on social media going along with it because they want to be patted on the back by social media and get their views. This is what kind of world you live in. And that's what I'm saying. I never believed, once I got in my 20s, this whole black and white perspective of racism. I just don't. Because black people, they have been selling out their people for the longest time. But you have black people going along with this nonsense to make money. Like they've been going along with a lot of nonsense for a long time. But she'll say her piece or whatever like that on social media coming up, just like Stephen A. Snitch said. And it's gonna be something. Who knows? It's hard for me to say what she's gonna say, but it won't surprise me. Some sexual this, some sexual harassment that. This is what they do, folks. They're gonna give you entertainment. And ESPN don't take a hit at all because they're already going down the damn drain. If you notice, I was like, we don't even have the same sports analysts no more. All these dudes are like substandard or they're real old. I was looking up Al Michaels. Man, this dude is 80 years old. I can't even believe that. I mean, Joe Buck has to be, I don't know, close to 70 years old. So who's going to replace these guys? They don't have it. Marv Albert, nobody was able to replace him. Look at Mike Green. This guy's old as hell. How long can he keep doing the NBA? And then when it's over for him, who's going to be out there? Nobody. But a lot of these guys that still call games, it's almost over for them. You ain't gonna have no good play-by-play guys or color analysts pretty soon. That's gonna be rough because at least in this substandard sports realm that we're in now, at least they made it sound good. Dick Vitale's gone. A lot of these guys done passed away. The great ones. Dick Enberg, he's gone. A lot of these guys. And guess what? That ain't the problem because, starting back from a long time ago, they always had good ones. But the thing is, they always replaced them with good ones. And that's how it was always in entertainment in general, whether it was, music, movies, sitcoms, whatever. They always replace these people with the up and coming great ones. It's not happening like that no more. Those days are over. And that's what I'm trying to tell you about this ESPN thing. ESPN is over. If you want to believe Stephen A. Smith got paid $100 million, yeah, that's fine with me. I don't care. Whatever makes you feel good. You got to ask yourself, why is he doing the Stephen A. Smith show too? It's a value that they're giving him. It's like you believe these NBA players make this kind of money and are podcasting and fight for a job after they retire. Right? They fired Shannon Sharp. They couldn't afford it no more. So they're going to give you a Shannon Sharp story. He likes women. Because, we assumed he didn't like women by the way he moved. He don't do anything in anything that's heterosexual to me. Walking around with a damn Pomeranian. This big ass nigga walking around with a Pomeranian? Wearing tight ass pants and tight ass joggers and all this stuff and gossip and all. Man, ain't no heterosexual. Well, you might have a different type of heterosexual energy than me, because a lot of people's testosterone as men, it just ain't where it used to be. But back in my day, even if you wasn't heterosexual and you was posing, even if you was, well, let's just say that. Say these people on TV, these entertainers, even if they wasn't heterosexual, they wouldn't slip up. They didn't slip up like that and show any sign. Today they slipping up all over the place, boy. They just don't care, man. Like Slip and Slide Records. They sliding all over the place. They do not care that they're out and about. I'm coming out. They're everywhere. They don't care, man. And like I said, it don't bother me what you are and stuff like that. It's cool. A lot of us, you know, we have people in our family that's gay. And a lot of us, we still love them the same. The problem with the entertainment industry, what we, you know, real heterosexual men don't what we don't like is that you have all these gay men in the entertainment industry portraying like they're heterosexual men. That's that's the problem. And not only that, they're trying to show, you know, heterosexual young people, this is how heterosexual men are supposed to engage. This is how they're supposed to act. This is how they're supposed to, you know, act flamboyant and all this stuff. Like your Stephen A. Smiths, your Shannon Sharps, and, you know, these guys like that. You guys said Stephen A. Smith. Y'all really think that Stephen A. Smith is a heterosexual man? Come on, man. Remember that little, you know, back and forth they had? They tried to put Molly with Stephen A. Smith. Are you crazy? Molly, that camera go off, boy. That camera go off, it's gonna be sparks because Stephen A. Smith is gonna be flaming out all over the place. That's why I try to tell you guys. A lot of these guys, like I said, they're actors. They go into character. They go into character when the camera comes on. Lights, camera, action. They're in character, right? When the camera goes off, the real person that comes out. You know, like I said, he'd be in there flaming out. And that's why I try to tell you, a lot of these people come from the entertainment industry because they can put on two different characters. So when they put them on TV like that, they already come from the entertainment industry, so they can go into a different character. This is how these people operate. But yeah, Shannon Sharp and Molly Qerim was never no item, or even close to being an item. that was her FAG hag. That's what they would say back in the day. She's a FAG hag. That's what they would say if a woman had a lot of gay friends. They would say FAG FAG hag. That's what they would say. Oh, well, a heterosexual woman, she had a whole bunch of gay friends. They would call her FAG hag. And anyway, with the whole, I'm gonna get off of here. This whole Molly Qerim thing, I just want to give you guys perspective about the whole thing, even though, you know, a lot of people are gonna say, oh man, that was a crazy perspective, we didn't ask for all that. And like I said, if you want the YouTube social media get along with the go along with the get along type of presentation that YouTube is going to give you, you go to their channels and listen to their channels, because they're all going to say the same thing. Because like I said, a lot of these guys worried about YouTube dinging them and not going with the script, the Hollywood script. If you don't want the Hollywood script, this script is basically, they can't afford to pay her no more. Just like a long line of other people that work for the network, they can't afford to pay them no more. Okay? And a lot of those people that they let go, it really didn't hurt them per se, because they end up getting their own shows or their own platforms on YouTube and stuff like that. They'll get up on there and start telling lies and saying all this dumb stuff like they always do, because a lot of these people aren't interesting, whether, you know, they're analysts, ex-players, whatever like that, unless they're up there putting on a comedic show, putting on an act, putting on, you know, lying, just saying a whole bunch of stupid stuff. They have no knowledge to teach you about the real world. All they have to, people like entertainment, right? People like liars. They like to be entertained. They like characters. And this is all you're going to get out of these people is a whole bunch of characters. You ain't going to get nothing real. You're just going to get characters. That's it. And we talk about Tracy McGrady. Look what he has to do now. Supposed to be made 100 and almost 60, 70 million in his career. Now he's broke. You got to go back to work like all of the rest of them do. They have to go get a job. They have to get a job. And it's, you know, not broke because they spent all their money on this and that. Remember, that was the whole thing before. How many athletes can go broke? How many athletes you're going to use that for before you start wising up and saying, damn, all these niggas is working. They're supposed to be making all these hundreds of millions. All of them, because they've never made the money we were told. You think Stephen A. Smith, again, is about to make all this money, you're told, what, he's supposed to get 100 million or something like that? And ESPN don't even have no money to pay no good analysts. Please, Stephen A. Smith, please, Dad, we give you the $100 million, man. Even don't nobody want to watch you, man. Nobody cares about what you say, man. You are Uncle Tom. Nobody cares about Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. Smith done blew his cover a long time ago. He done sold out again and again and again and again and again and again. You done sold out. You done sold out to the boss again, and he ain't got no credibility for anything he says. None. If you look at the old Stephen A. Smith from the late 2000s and maybe the early 2010s, yeah, I could say Stephen A. Smith was good back then. But of late, the past 10 years, Stephen A. Smith ain't got it no more, man. Don't nobody care about Stephen A. Smith. Don't look how the whole thing just blew up, right? First they had to get rid of Shannon Sharp, well, with the, make you think he likes women, and supposedly paying out like $10-20 million. Dude, really? No, he ain't got that kind of money, folks. He won't be working for ESPN if he had that kind of money. In Fox, he won't be working for them. If he made that kind of money in NFL, no sir. Second of all, ain't no damn man. If you didn't do nothing, if you felt because remember the allegations, he said he was framed. He said he was coerced, all this stuff. Then nobody really believed a woman, right? Everybody believed Shannon Sharp. Everybody was just disappointed in Shannon Sharp because he put himself in a certain situation, blah, blah, blah. Which, again, it's all fake. But he said he was coerced. He said he was going to stand on his swear. All this stuff, remember, came out with a statement. Next thing you know, he's paying this chick millions. What did you pay her millions for? You said you didn't physically do nothing to her, so she got you on a phone call? Come on, man. It's entertainment, folks. He didn't give her none of this money. She's an actor. All this stuff on TV is acting. Gilbert Arenas, why he come back out jumping, having fun? It was all fake, man. He's an actor. We won't even go into Gilbert Arenas. We'll be here for a minute. But Gilbert Arenas wanted to do his thing, so he got in there. We'll just say that. Right, but you had to get this humiliation ritual. Trust me, if that stuff really happened to Gilbert Arenas, he would not have come outside that courtroom having fun, doing all this stuff. He'd be watching what he's saying on his show and all that stuff if that stuff really happened. If that stuff really happened to Shannon Sharp, guess what? He'd be taking that chick to court. If he had all the millions to give her, and it was true he was giving her all the millions, or she was suing for all that money, he'd be taking her to court. Ain't nobody fixing hand over no money like that, folks. Nope. But it's entertainment. He got his humiliation ritual, right? They put him up, and they bring him down, then they gonna pull him back up. That's what they do. But yeah, the Molly Qerim, we'll see what's gonna happen to her. We got a feeling by the way Shannon Sharp was talking, she's gonna put ESPN on blast and all this stuff and blah 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 to try to build up her platform. She's probably gonna come out with some platform and stuff like that. Like I said, they ain't got no money to pay her. No more. They got no money. So they can say what they want. You can only go by a track record, guys. You can't be like, oh man, you're just making up stuff. No, we're not. We're going by ESPN and Fox that owned by Disney. We're going by the track record. They don't have no money to pay these people. So some of these people, what they'll do on the way out is they'll give you entertainment behind it, right? And have you believing this happened, that happened, blah, 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 because it's a company. They don't want to tell you what really happened at their company. So it's the entertainment industry. They're going to give you a fake story and they're going to bring you some entertainment behind it. Just like like my favorite one, right? The Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman and the Shannon Sharp and what's the name? Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. They wasn't getting the ratings. Nope. Nobody was watching it like that, and they couldn't pay them no more. So what do? You start up a fake beef, and then you had Jay Will and Keyshawn show. That thing was falling apart, so they made up a fake beef between Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. You saw where Max went. He went to the Jay Will and Keyshawn show to try to save that because I forget his name, the narrator. I think he's Indian or something like that. Anyways, he couldn't carry the show. He just couldn't narrate the show as far as carrying it to make it interesting. And Max Kellerman went over that show and tried to save that show, even though it ended up taking later on. But was Zubin, right? The Zubin guy? Yeah, he couldn't carry the show. He was just wanting a good narrator or whatever like that. Not that he couldn't talk, but he wasn't good enough to carry the show to where, it was getting good ratings. So they started a fake beef between Stephen A., Stephen A. and Max Kellerman to try to get Max Kellerman over to that show to try to save it. Another fake beef, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless. Oh, and that thing was all entertainment. All that thing was made for Hollywood right there. Made for Hollywood, but the dummies thought it was real because this stuff is good because you can get social media to push this stuff as it's real. You don't really have to, worry about leaving clues and worry about people saying, oh, this is fake, because you got social media pushing this because they want views. They don't care if it's fake or not. They want to go with the script so they can get their views. So that was real good. Put on your glasses, Shannon Sharp, and saying Brady was a better football player than him, all this stuff. And then you had the Damar Hamlin thing with Skip saying that. It was made for TV, but it was also made because they couldn't afford to pay these fools no more. They wasn't getting the views. They wasn't getting the ratings. So again, they got to get rid of them and break this up. So they're going to bring you entertainment. They're going to bring you a fake script. Well, it's a script, but they're going to bring you a fake beef between these two. Okay. Skip Bayless becomes the bad guy. Shannon Sharp, of course, the good guy, and then he moves on to, First Take. And I don't know, what was it, 2 years, 3 years, whatever? I don't know how long it was over there, but until recently, and that blew up. Nobody wanted to watch it. You couldn't pay him. They can't pay him no more. So they had to get rid of Shannon Sharp with this fake, him liking women type of thing. And that's it, man. I'm just trying to tell you guys the script. This is entertainment. This is for, children to believe in this stuff. Maybe if you're like, in your teens, 20s, but not like adults who've already experienced with life and understand the reality of life and stuff like this. You shouldn't fall for this if you're, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. To me, that's hideous. That you don't know the difference between entertainment and reality. You don't know the difference between the TV and reality. Everything on TV is scripted. All these guys read off a script. Remember, a lot of times Shannon Sharp said, man, the guy who wrote this stuff for me, helped me out a lot and got me, it's all scripted. It's all scripted. Like Mariah Carey, somebody write her songs. Whitney Houston, somebody will write her songs. A lot of these rappers, somebody writes their songs. It don't matter if you think they can rap or whatever like that. A lot of people who can write can't act or can't sing or can't rap. A lot of people who can rap and sing and act, they can't write. So these people go hand in hand with each other. That's how it works. Then you got somebody that write the music, make the music, somebody that made, the wardrobe people, the makeup people, all these people is in together. That's why a lot of these celebrities really never have this kind of money, because you have to pay a lot of people. A lot of these people ain't nothing without these other people, especially the songwriters, the people who make the music, the beats and stuff like that. They're nothing without that. This ain't, a lot of people, don't understand this stuff. You might think Mariah Carey's singing this song because this is what she feels. No, this is somebody else wrote this, and she's just a great singer. This is how somebody else feels that wrote that song, but you'll never hear about them. They'll never get credit and stuff like that. These people who write these scripts for these people on TV, these analysts and stuff like that, and things like that. So don't shed a tear for Molly Qerim, because she's just part of the ongoing ESPN script that's been going on for a long time. And that's it. That's it. ESPN is going down. Fox Sports is going down. All this stuff in the future, it ain't gonna be no debate show. All that stuff is over. It's just gonna be, maybe it'll just go back to ESPN again, where they're showing, highlight sports, because that all that is over. Most of that debate group stuff was maybe to try to save the NBA, because the NBA was going in a bad direction as far as viewership, right? And maybe if they didn't build the super teams, the NBA, I think the NBA would have been hurt more than them not building super teams, because then, they're showcasing these guys as their all-time great players, and they're up there with the 90s and 80s guys and stuff like that. But if you're only winning like one championship, maybe like two championships, they can't promote them with those guys. They can't do it. Like the LeBron James. Say if he only won one championship, and they were promoting this guy as the greatest of all time before he even won a championship, and all this stuff. And after he lost 2 championships, they were still 0-2. They were still promoting this guy as the greatest of all time. So trust me, I don't know, man. I'm gonna get off this phone. I just had to tell you about this Molly Qerim thing. Like I said, I wouldn't lose a sleep over this Molly Qerim script that they got going on, because that's all this to me. You ain't gonna get nothing real out of it, except for, like I always said, they can't afford these people no more. She won't be the last to go about here. Sports is over. If you look at it from a bigger view, like I was saying before, sports is basically over. And I could say a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't want to really put it out there like that. But let's just say sports on a high level, as far as baseball, basketball, football, it don't have the same cachet as the past. You already got all these quarterbacks in the NFL getting hurt already. The season's just like 2 games. I can see the NFL ratings being one of the lowest years yet. So don't look for these people to keep spending money when it's no money to spend on these people no more. Because like I said, you don't have the value of the talent. Now they can bring you a value, like I said, to make you feel dumb. Let me get off of here, man.